Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I'm in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And today I'm going to show you around the Mercer Museum, which has a lot of artifacts from the 1800s and early 1900s, showing you all kinds of industrial products and personal products that was used and made back then. First, let me show you what the building looks like from the outside. The building is 106 years old, and it was built for the specific purpose of being a museum. And it was completed in 1916, 106 years ago. There are 7 floors of displays. So let's go in and take a look around. This is the top floor, which would work out nicely for a bedroom for the mansion owner. Got a fireplace here, and that's a nice art piece. There's only some small windows, that one, and that one, and that one, that do actually open. And down here, you can see that they have something green and red plants growing on the roof there. And you get a view of the people who have to live on the ground. The rest of the top floor is a collection of these cast iron, I think it is, plates with all the artwork on it. Just numerous of them here. This is another room on the top floor, and these are stoves, and this plaque explains what they are. Shaker stoves, tin plate stoves. So this is like a cast iron stove factory, I think. They've even got a buggy up here. Now, to get that up here, and whatever that is, they would have to take it apart piece by piece and then put it back together once they get it up here. And here's another big cart, but somehow they got through this door. That was the 7th floor. So now this is the 6th. Here they have displays under glass. Now, there were more rooms on the 7th floor, and there are several rooms here on the 6th, but there's not much up here to see. So now I'm going down to the 5th floor, where there is all sorts of things on display, even a boat. They got a really big buggy here. And this is like an atrium where you can see down 2 more floors below me. I can't imagine how they got that big boat in here all in one piece. These plaques tell you what's on each floor. This is a Blacksmith Shop, the sign says. And here's a Woodworking Shop. See if I can get away from these glass reflections. All kinds of tools on the wall here. And they have this. They have a lot of these description plaques if you want to read all the details of what all this stuff is. All this equipment here is pretty amazing. This is what's on the 4th. I think this is what we now call wheel alignment. And here's part of Mercer's gun collection. A lot of rifles here. Fishing and trapping. This tells you about that Conestoga wagon right there. A lot of interesting things they have here.
So it's laying on, so it's original. So this is the reason why it's upright like this. Right. This one
Quite a collection of what you might call ancient lighting devices. Before electricity, of course. And a room of medical related equipment. There's a really old wheelchair. Surveying and navigating equipment from the 1700s and 1800s. Now I'm down to the third. You remember wooden Indians? This is one of them. And this is some other odd character. This is a yoke shop. Don't see many of those anymore. Tanning and leatherworking. Now, coopering is something I have never heard of. I have no idea what this stuff is. Harvesting equipment from the 1800s. Here's a wooden rake. I wonder how well that held up. Here's a couple more cigar store characters. Take a look at this fire engine. More buggies in here. And now we're into floor 2. And it is a big room here with not quite so much on display here. But there's a big room here to be used for other purposes. There's a lot of these little side rooms with the displays I've been showing you. Butcher shop, dairy, file making. This is in the dairy room. And meat preservation was certainly a big challenge back then. And this is fruit preservation equipment. And they've created a general merchandise shop here. He's got quite an amazing collection of wooden Indians. And here is a wooden Buffalo Bill. He seems to be missing an important part here. That's a fruit press. They've got a lot of presses here that I haven't actually shown you. In some places they actually use tree trunks like this as water pipes. And this is Mr. Mercer himself. And for some reason here we have this. Can you guess what it is? From the equipment here, there's a gun and a cross. And it actually is a vampire killing kit. That could come in handy, right? And here is an overall summary of what's on the 7 floors. Now I'm down on the first floor. Let's see what's in here.
Mom's house, the poorhouse, the work farm.
Well, there's not much in there. Now this is a good display of the 3 properties. Originally he built this castle to be his home. And this is his business. And here is the museum that was opened in 19. If you want to know more about Mr. Mercer, you can certainly look him up on Wikipedia and read all about his life, how he got so wealthy and what he did overall.
I created this collection you asked me, hanging above our heads. It was very early in the spring of 1897. I used to buy a pair of copies for an old-fashioned fireplace in my own geology studio. So I went to the premises of one of our fellow citizens who'd been in the habit of going to the country sales and buying what they call penny flocks. Valueless vessels of old and obsolete utensils and those that were replaced by new industrial machines.
Well, that's the end of my tour of the museum, which obviously I only showed you a small fraction of all the artifacts that are in there. So now I'm going to take you and show you a little bit of what his mansion looked like from the outside, which was his personal residence, and it's just about 1 mile away from here. It's called Fonthill Castle, and it is just right in the middle of town in the residential neighborhood here. They do give guided tours, but you have to have a special permit to take photos, and you can't take videos on the guided tour. It's $15 for a 1-hour guided tour if you want to see what the inside of the castle looks like. And here's a side castle, which is their welcome center. But I don't think I would be very welcome with my video camera. So we'll just have to see the outside here. Nice personal residence, huh? And of course, any decent castle has to have a really huge front lawn. I always like to be in charge of cutting the grass here. Here's the back side of it, and this looks like some kind of a hothouse. You know, I've noticed some of the biggest castles do not even have a swimming pool. Well, let me know what you think in the comments below. Good day, folks.